Hello, this is Sizwe Podcast. My name is Agnes, and today we are privileged again to have someone who is not a stranger to our studio, Yvonne Sackeyfio, Canada Immigration and Beyond. And if there is a time for us to talk about immigration stuff, it is today. Yvonne, you are welcome.
Thank you, Agnes.
I know we have, since 3 days ago or whatever days ago, the number of calls that we've had asking about stuff that is going around the airwaves. We are happy you are joining us.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. And today I don't want to make a mistake, so I printed all the questions.
Oh.
So just forgive me if you see me turning around, because I want to read about certain things that I myself don't know about it. So we got a lot of questions through phone calls and other things about what PNP program is. And then there was someone who was also asking for, is it the eTA? I don't know what those questions are. So let's take it one by one. Tell us more about this PNP program that people are talking about.
Okay. So thanks for having me again. So the PNP, the Provincial Nominee Program.
Oh,
that is what PNP stands for.
PNP, guys, forgive me. I didn't know. And I'm like, okay, I'll ask her when she comes.
So every province in Canada has a program where the province gets to choose the specific profile of people they want to come to their province, basically. Okay. So, they have various criteria. Alberta has one, BC has one. And there's various criteria to capture the kind of skills that they're looking for their province.
Oh, right? So the PNP program is what normally I hear as the express entry. Is that the same one?
No.
Okay.
So that's a little different. The Alberta one is called the Alberta Advantage Immigration Program.
Yes.
So AAIP.
Okay, so every province have their own names.
That's right.
They all fall under the
PNP. That's right.
Awesome.
That's right.
Guys, if you just joined us, we've just started and have in our midst today Yvonne Sackeyfio. Yvonne owns her own immigration consultancy business, Canada Immigration and Beyond. And this is about the 4th time that we've brought her into the studio, because a lot of us as immigrants have a lot of questions. And this week, the questions that came more about what is the PNP program, and she has just explained it. If you just join us, stick to us and you will hear more. And then somebody also asked, what is the eTA? And I don't know why the E is small e, and then the T is big T and A. What is this program about, and what is it?
So the ETA is Electronic Travel Authorization.
Don't trick me like that. Okay. And what is that?
Yes. So the ETA, when you're coming to Canada, there are 2 ways, right? You can come with a visitor visa or an ETA. That's when you're coming temporarily. Okay. Now, there are certain countries that need a visitor visa before they can come to Canada. And there are others that are exempt from the visitor visa, but they are the ones that would apply for the ETA to come into Canada.
Oh, okay. So it's like how, if you are a Canadian citizen, there are certain countries you can go without asking for visa.
That's right.
Okay. Yes. So I can come to Canada if I'm from a certain country with the ETA.
That's
right. And from other countries, you need to apply for a visa. Guys, if you just join us, this is dope. I always say, if you have Yvonne here and I have all my immigration questions answered. Thank you so much. Now I know what a provincial nominee program.
That's right.
And I know what an ETA, Electronic Travel Authorization
That's
from
right.
people who are from countries that don't need a visa. Right. We have talked much about student visas and temporary visa in the past. Now, there was this question that came, that what is the difference between a co-op permit and a PGWP permit? That's a long abbreviation.
Yes, it is. Okay, so a co-op work permit is a work permit that IRCC will give you or give a student when they have an internship part of their program.
Yeah.
So a lot of students coming in will get the study permit as well as a co-op work permit. And they sometimes make a mistake thinking, oh, this is a work permit, I can, work with it. But that is not what it is for. The co-op is only for the portion of your study program, right?
Yeah.
That allows you to work a practicum or an internship aspect of your study.
So
that
it
is what it's for.
It is not the two, because now your student permit automatically come with your work permit, and it has an hour cut on it that if you are in school, you have to work a certain % of hours in a week.
That's right. It allows you to do that. Yes. The
And then
permit.
you will get one on top if your program has a practical portion to it. For example, I get a lot of students that come to do their practicum, and they do it for, let's say, 200 hours as part of their program. Right. So they can get that co-op work permit on top of what comes with your student permit. And if you just join us, I'm talking to Yvonne Sackeyfio, Canada Immigration and Beyond. If you have all matters around immigration, you can get her contact underneath this video, and you can come to her, call her, or do a video or WhatsApp. She's good at WhatsApp. I think every African likes that. So
it's way easier.
Yes, it's way easier. And then you can have your questions. But yeah, you can still put your questions here. And then if we get more like what I have on my sheet, we will bring her back. She's so generous to do that. Thank you so much, Yvonne, again. So there's another one.
Let me explain the other part.
Oh, the PGWP.
That's right.
Please.
So the PGWP stands for Post-Graduation Work Permit.
Post-graduation work permit. And I think this question has really reigned in the airwaves ever since the minister made mention of the. So please, I am so grateful that you are touching on that.
Mm-hmm. So the PGWP is what students get once they complete their studies and graduate from a program.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And it can be between 1 year to 3 years, depending on the length of your program. There's been a couple changes. We may talk about it today or maybe the next time.
Yes.
But definitely that is something that gives students opportunity to gain Canadian work experience. So it's always important to know whether the institution you're going to provides this PGWP after graduation.
Is it the institution that will give you that, or you have to apply for it from the immigration?
So you have to apply for it, but you have to attend certain institutions before you have the ability to apply for that PGWP.
Okay. And I think the last time you came here, you were saying that the timeline of your course, the completion, let's say if you have a 2-year diploma or a 1-year certificate, that would also inform how long your PGWP permit will be.
That's correct.
If there's any time of talking about immigration stuff, it is this week. My name is Agnes, and I'm here today with Yvonne Sackeyfio. Yvonne owns a migration consultant business, and we've had her here for several times. And today we are going through the questions that came, some on WhatsApp, some on Facebook and YouTube. We just talk about, if you don't know, just go to the back, start listening to us. I know what a provincial nominee program is. I know what an ETA is. Go back and you understand. So Yvonne, the next question that came is, what are some of the reasons one can be denied of that PGWP?
So that's a very good question.
Yes, and people are really getting themselves into trouble.
That's correct.
Yes,
that's correct. So I'm very glad that you brought this up. So the PGWP is something that, yes, if you attend certain programs or certain institutions, you will be eligible for. Mm-hmm. But even as a student, during your studies, there are certain things you need to make sure to do so that you don't lose that PGWP eligibility.
Yeah, so it is a privilege, or
yes,
it is not something that automatically will happen because you have come to school here. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
I think I need to know. They need to know why they are not getting it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I'll give an example. One of the things that students would do is to take a gap in their studies, for instance. So you're studying you've got a 2-year program, mm-hmm. then you decide one term that, you're not going to study. For whatever reason, I'm taking a break, right? That can affect this PGWP, for your ability to get this PGWP. Yeah. That's one of the reasons. And a lot of students fall into this situation.
Yes, I think a lot of our students, especially because of the fee, the fee they are paying, sometimes they feel that if they take a gap year or 1 year break and then they can work but then you have already taken maybe one of the years that you would have been given if you had completed. What other things are they not doing right? That's why they are being denied that.
So another thing is if you work more than the allowed hours.
And that brings us back to that co-op permit.
So it's a little related, but this particular work period is what you're allowed to do on your study permit. Right? So the study permit is what allows you to work as an international student.
Yes, yeah.
And it actually states the conditions on that.
Yes.
So if you work more than the allowed hours, you could also lose this PGWP eligibility.
Awesome. And I think I was just talking to Dallas here, who is a tax consultant, and like what Yvonne just said. So if you think you are hiding, I think your tax filing will give you out, and your T4 will be able to state how many hours and the Dallas just said that if you are going to apply for any documentation from the CIC, you need the taxes that you have filed. So why do you put yourself through that? So your taxes are going to give you away that, you didn't work the 20 hours a week, but you were working 40 hours. So how much time did you have for your education? And this is one of the things that will also make you lose your PGWP permit.
That's correct. Well
is there
done.
anything else you want to add to that?
Actually, another thing that students need to be very mindful of is to make sure, I mentioned it at the beginning, the schools they attend is very important. The school and the program. So their IRCC has a list of PGWP eligible institutions.
I never knew that.
They do. So it's not just any program, any school. Program. No.
Okay, some people can say, just take 8 months program.
Yes.
Here, and then after that you get an open work permit. It's not like that.
No, it's not.
And
there are actually certain institutions that may be eligible, but certain programs within those institutions are not eligible. So you have to be very careful.
Awesome. Yes. So if you just join us, this is Sizwe Podcast, and today we are talking all matters immigration, and we are talking about some of the issues that happens to especially students' permits when they come here, or people come to Canada with all sorts of things because this is a land of opportunity. I'm not lying to you, but if you don't do the right thing, sometimes you get yourself into trouble. I have another question here, and I think I'm inching into a lot. There are many recent changes that RRCC, and I think this question, if you go and read under our show, there are more questions that are coming on the changes that RRCC have made in 2024, and that announcement came 2 days ago. And it has rocked a lot of boats. Like, people are really panicking. Those who are already here and those who are home preparing or trying to come to study in Canada. What is happening?
That is a very good question, yes. Agnes. A lot.
I'm happy that we took this week because I can't keep up with the questions.
Yes. I'm getting the same questions as well, over and over and over. And it's so interesting. It's the announcement that came on January 22nd.
Yes.
It included things that didn't even seem like they were related at all.
Yes.
It kind of touched on so many things. But one of them, of course, we all know that the main reason that IRCC made these changes, they're saying that there's an explosion of international students coming into the country.
Yes.
It's affecting various aspects of the economy.
Yes.
So there's this cap that has been or is being implemented that will reduce international students coming into the country for the next 2 years by about 35%. So major cut.
And I think, is it right to say that they are looking at it province by province?
Mm-hmm. So what they're saying is that they're going to allocate this reduced amount of or number of international students allowed into the country by province, And then they'll see, so in terms of the provinces, they're going to look at the population and the provinces and other factors to determine that rate.
Okay.
It looks like, based on the initial details that the minister gave, it looks like Ontario and British Columbia may be the most affected
provinces
in reducing the number of students going to those two provinces.
So if you are here, and I think that there's one thing that they are not sure, when is this taking effect? Because people are panicking right from 22nd. I'm telling you, somebody was in my office yesterday and he's like, Auntie Agnes, so how is it going to affect? I'm like, you're already here. Yes. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
So those who are already here in Canada and have a student or study permit, or those who will be extending their study permit will not be affected by this.
Okay.
It's those who are now coming in.
Okay.
Are the ones who will mainly be affected.
So if you just join us, this is Sizwe Podcast. My name is Agnes. I'm talking to Yvonne Sackeyfio. And Yvonne owns a migration consultant business, Canada Immigration and Beyond. If you get this video, you can send it to your friends, your families who are trying to come to Canada on study permits. There was this big announcement and everybody is panicking. But what the assurance that I'm having here is that if you're already here and you are already in schooling like you said, then there's no cause for alarm. I think our time is almost running up, so I'm going to go to the next question. I still have a lot of questions, and that is why I'm bringing Yvonne back. So somebody saying that, would this affect those who are going to renew their permits?
So the answer to that is no.
No. Oh, okay, guys, no.
So those who are already here, those who will be extending their permits, will not be affected.
You don't. But so why was there something in it about spouse? Because people were okay. What is that?
So, so the I guess announcement said that the spousal open work permit,
yes,
which is what a student's spouse can get to work full time while the student is going to school and support them or help them financially, that is going to be limited only to the students who are in master's and PhD programs.
Was it different?
Yes. So as long as the student was attending the proper institution and had the right eligibility, their spouses, any spouse could come and take advantage of the open work permit.
But now they are exempting certificate programs, diploma programs, and even a degree program.
So masters and PhD are the ones who are going to be eligible.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so that also caused a lot of panic because some students were saying that, so then what's the point of being here, because we come to Canada to seek a better opportunities, and if we don't have our spouses. Guys, if you just join us, this is Sizwe Podcast, and I am happy talking about all matters immigration today with Yvonne Sackeyfio, and she owns a consultant business, Canada Immigration and Beyond. We may not be able to exhaust all the questions here, but if we do, then she will not come back. So I am just going to save the rest of the question. We have touched base with a lot of things. So I want her to sum up some of the things that we have done today. And then when I get the chance to bring her back another time, we'll continue. So Yvonne, before you go, what do you want to tell? Yes, please. And people are panicking, but just put some ice water.
Yes, so the ice water.
We call it ice water.
Yes.
Put some ice water.
Let's put some ice water on that. So in terms of the spousal open work permit, one thing I can tell you to calm things down a little bit is that the IRCC is saying that the change will be done in the coming weeks. So we don't know what that means quite yet. Okay. Is it next week? Is it next month? Is it in a couple months? We're not sure yet. Okay. So we're all waiting. So we're waiting for them to actually be clear about what it is they mean. So more things are going to be coming out. There's more clarity. So let's wait and see kind of what they come up with. But today we've talked about quite a few things: the PNP, the ETA, the PGWP, co-op work permit, and a little bit about the recent announcement. So I hope that at least it's answered some questions at this point.
It has really, yes.
And then, definitely. there's a lot of information out there, and people are hearing a lot of things, but be very mindful of what is being said and who you're listening to. And let's wait for IRCC to make things a little clearer so that we'll all know.
Thank you so much. There's a saying that if you don't teach your kids the right thing, they will go out and their friends will teach them the wrong thing. We have Yvonne Sackeyfio in our midst today. She owns Canada Immigration and Beyond. If you have questions, you have anything around what we have talked about, don't hesitate to consult her and you will not regret. Thank you so much. This is Sizwe Podcast. My name is Agnes. Thank you, Yvonne.
Thank you so much for having me.
Coming.